On this episode, I'm going to be talking about playing it small and the changes I'm making in my business so I stop doing this. Hey, you, and welcome to the Impactful Life podcast. If you've been listening to me for a while, you will notice that there may have been a few changes made, more than a few. There have been a lot of ones made. And I want to talk today a little bit about why, but I really want to get into not just kind of the superficial level of the why I've done it and the business part of it, but I want to go deeper. And I want to actually talk more about why I did this, because it was my own journey that I had to go through within my business to realize that some things just were not going the right way. And more than anything else, I wasn't showing up the way that I wanted to be showing up. And I had to put some things in place in order to be able to, get out here and start delivering the type of content that I really want to deliver, and start being able to, drop my guard a little bit more and drop some of that, very carefully crafted brand I had put in place, and start being more me, like a bit more authentic than I have been. And I want to talk a little bit about that journey and why it was that I've been playing so small in my business and playing it really safe in so many decisions I've made, from the podcast choices to, what I've been teaching, to how I've been showing up, and really how it actually hasn't done me any benefit as a person. It's been great, I've done really well within my business, but at the end of the day, it's just never felt right. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that journey and how it took me some pretty deep soul searching to figure out what I was doing wrong, and finding the courage to actually start doing the right things and the things I think I needed to be doing in my business. And one of the things that's happened is there's been a bit of a shift with the way that I'm approaching the mission within my business, and how that's reflected out is going to be reflected out in all aspects of the business, including the podcast. And so with the podcast, with Hey Spark Plug, I really focused on that being about educating. So talking and teaching and talking and teaching. And it's important. I think it's really valid and really important. And I've loved my past episodes, don't get me wrong. But also what I realized in that journey was I also wasn't sharing my own journey with you. I shared maybe bits and pieces of it, but I was not being an open book and being hey, I'm going to tell you about the time I fell flat on my face. And I did an episode about that, but it goes a lot deeper than that and what I talked about. I kind of did the whitewash version of the reality of how bad that crash was, and how long it took me to be able to get back up and dust myself off and get back out in front of the public eye again. And I want to talk more too with women who have been exactly where you are right now. And they had a dream and they were working their tails off to figure out how to turn that dream into a business. And so they had the opportunity to do the things in their life that they really wanted to do. And I want to share those inspirational stories because I want to show you, you can do this. You absolutely can do this. There's so many of us who have done it, and we should be sharing the realities, the truth of that, so that we're not just looking at, Instagram or, Facebook and seeing this very cultivated image of what it's like to be an entrepreneur that is all beaches and sunset trips and all of these things. It's not. It's hard work. It's slogging. It's making a million mistakes, and then it's finally getting them things to go right. And when you get the things to go right, that's when the magic happens. That's the success that comes when things start going right. But until you have been doing this for a really long time, you're never going to really know, right? Because you don't. It's kind of it's like raising a child, right? There's no 100% a playbook that comes with it. You just a lot of the time are leaning into your intuition. And it's exactly the same with being an entrepreneur, is that until you actually get comfortable in your skin and you can feel when things are not right in your business, you need to hear it from women who've done it so that you can start to recognize it in yourself. So the podcast is shifting quite dramatically. It's going to be conversations about impact. It's going to be conversations about impacting your business, conversations about impacting the world, inspiration, courageous stories, still teachings. Don't worry, those aren't going away as well, but more opportunities to talk about strategies and tips and show you that, this is where you can go. And this is the things you need to put in place in order to get there. And for me, it's going to be a lot more vulnerability within here. And the reason why this is happening is because, as I said a little earlier, I had been struggling in my business. And, I kind of just things like I just weren't feeling right. And I kept trying to figure out, what am I missing? And, what am I not doing right? And, I've created this thing, right? I've created this, like, it's this image and this brand, and I've done this before a million times. I know what I'm doing when it comes to this. I teach it. But at the end of the day, every single day, I would sit there and I'd say to myself, something's wrong, like something's off, and I can't figure out what it is. So I'm in a mastermind program called Accelerator, and it's run by Rick Mulready, who is like an incredible online educator and business expert. And in there, we have the opportunity to do mindset coaching as well from Neil Williams, who's like the guru of the guru when it comes to mindset. You must follow her. She is brilliant. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go in. I'm going to say, something's not right. I don't know what's going on. I need to fix it. But I'm playing really small in my business. Like, I'm making really safe choices. I'm not taking big risks. I'm not putting myself out there. And I come from a background of risk taking. Like, I used to tie people together, one person who was blind and one person who was sighted, and throw them in the Hudson River. And then they would go off and do a triathlon. Like, I know risk. I know what risk is. And I love it. But I just have not been doing it at all in my business. So I went into the coaching and I said, all right, I'm going to do this. And I walked in again with that, I'm going to just share enough to get the help that I need. And I'm going to keep everything else very tightly packed to my chest. I'm not going to show all my cards. I'm just going to show enough to get the help I need, and I can figure the rest of it out on my own. And that is not what happened. What happened was I showed everything. I cried during the coaching session. I let everything out. I kept talking about, being small and being so afraid to take risks and terrified and so scared to be vulnerable in my business and so scared to be vulnerable on camera or on my podcast and terrified to show people the real Jan, right? The Jan who is the real person, but not necessarily like Jan polished, everything put together. It's always going to be okay, Jan, but the Jan who's also like, hey, I have made so many mistakes in business. I have fallen on my face more than once. I have taken years to figure out what it is I'm meant to do. I've struggled with decisions. I'm afraid to kind of show up on camera and be me because I'm afraid of what people are going to say about me, or if I'm going to get judged, or if are people really even going to like me? And all of those things. So I've built this very protected wall that I put around myself, and I put it around my business. And by making those choices to stay small and play small and stay safe and do that, I have been not showing up for you the way I should be showing up for you, because I haven't been showing up and being authentic. I haven't. I've been showing up and showing you the best of me, but I haven't been showing you some of the things that I like. Not some of, all of the things that aren't necessarily the best, or the quirkiness. And like, I am a little quirky. I'm a little off sometimes. That's one of the reasons why, like, when Reels came out, I was like, I'm never going to do a Reel because my brand doesn't do Reels. And then I did one and I was like, I feel free doing this. Like, I feel like me. And those Reels are very me. Like, if you want to see the real Jan, watch one of my Reels, because you're going to get her. A little bit sarcastic, a little bit quirky, a little bit dorky. But again, like, it doesn't come back to what I'm talking about, because I know what I'm talking about, but it always comes back to am I talking about it in the right way? And when I'm telling my students, like, you need to take risks and you have to lean into the risks and you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I have not been doing any of those things as well. I'm not the leader that I need to be for you. So we unpacked that. Like, we unpacked it and unpacked it and unpacked it. And at the end of it, really what came down to was Neil said, I want you to try on a different hat, like try on a different way of thinking. And instead of being so afraid to expose my vulnerability and publicly and expose, like, to set myself up potentially to feel as though I'm going to get hurt, or I'll get judged, or something will happen, or people won't like me, that I'm actually going to wear it as my power. I'm going to be vulnerable in my business. I'm going to be vulnerable with you. I'm going to be vulnerable with my students. I'm going to start sharing the stories. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to show the real me. The real Jan is coming out. Get ready. She also swears like a trucker. So if you're not, get ready, it'll come. But I thought it was a really great way for me to be able to say, I need to live authentically. Like I can't grow this business. I can't be the right person for you if I'm hiding those parts of myself that I'm scared to show. And if anything, more than anything right now, I really believe that we all just need to be ourselves. Like the world needs to see things the way it is and not the way that it's been manufactured. And I manufactured my brand. Like I really did. When I started this, I came out and I was like, who do I like? I'm going to manufacture a brand similar to that because I like that. And I don't know who I am anymore. And I don't know what I want to be in business. And as I went along, I was like, this doesn't feel right. I'm not in the right skin because I'm not in my skin. And so I'm putting my skin back on. And I know there'll be some people who have had talks with me behind the scenes about this who are going to be like, thank God, Jan, it's about damn time that you've done this. But I'm going to. And I hope you stay with me on this journey. I hope you come on it with me as well. But if I'm not the right person for you, I hope you find the right person for you, right? And if you're coming here and you're looking for something that's going to be authentic and open and filled with truth and fact about business building and filled with lots of stories about things not to do because they're lived stories, like don't do some of the things that I did. Like, don't do them. I'm going to tell you what they are. I'm going to stop you so that you have an easier journey and you have a more inspired journey. And you can make that impact on the world the way you truly want to make that impact. Because when we play small and when we stay small, we are doing a disservice to ourselves. We're doing a disservice to our businesses. We're doing a disservice to our families. And we're doing a disservice to our customers. And more than anything else, that person who's sitting out there waiting for someone like you to show up in their lives, they're never going to get it if you don't show up as you. If you don't show up big, like if you don't show up big and bold and be out there and be like, this is it. This is what you're getting. Because there's someone out there sitting there right now saying, thank God you showed up. Like, thank you for being here because I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for someone like you to come in. And I'm so incredibly glad that you're here. So I'm here. This is Jan. I'm looking forward to getting to know you, but more important, I'm looking forward to you getting to know me and the real me, not just the me that, again, like I said, is like, the perfect camera angle and the eyelashes and all that. The eyelashes are not going away. I will tell you that. And the blonde hair is staying because this is the real me as well. And this is very much the real me. But I thought I'd share more about that, more behind the scenes, more opportunities to get to know my family, more opportunities to get to know me as a mother, me as a wife, as well, and me as Jan, just plain old Jan. And while you're here, I'm also going to help you be able to build that business that you're meant to have. So what can you expect moving forward? Well, the podcast for sure. My free Facebook group has changed as well. So is now going to be a group that's going to be, again, focused on inspiration. I'm getting guests to come in and doing live interviews with them monthly. I'm going to be in there as well doing varieties of things like Q&As, teachings, sharing things, all kinds of stuff. But it's really turning into like your BFF business community for new entrepreneurs, like first-time entrepreneurs in the making, women like you who are like, I got to figure this out and I need a community of other women around me to inspire me, to uplift me, to be honest with me, to hold me to the fire when I'm playing small and saying, hey, like we see you, you got to do it bigger than this. So that's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot more of the honesty in there, the authenticness of being a business owner, and not just me showing up every time and saying, I'm going to teach you for 20 minutes. I still will be showing up to teach, but let's talk about some things that you need as well. I think really what we all need right now is we need to see people who inspire us because they've gone the journey before us. And so we can look and say, okay, they did it, I can do it too. So I'm going to show you how I did it. I'm going to talk about how I did it because I did it. I've been doing it for 20 years, 30 years in sales, 20 plus years in business, and 12 years now as an entrepreneur. I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it, and teach you the things, again, that will help you be able to have the best possible journey you had in it. And I'm going to inspire you along the way. And let's build a community of really awesome women who are just here to lift each other up and push each other forward when things are not going well. So in the meantime, I've got 2 new courses that are going to be coming out. I have a brand new course that's going to be coming out this month. Actually, it will be launching very shortly. And it's all about learning how to start a business that's the right one for you. So it's all about the idea. I'm going to bring you through the decisions you need to know, and we're going to get you right down to the nitty-gritty on the things that you have to know. And we're going to give that business idea boot camp, is what it's called, the opportunity for you to be able to flush out those thousands of things you have running in your head that you might want to do, down to the one that's going to make you insanely profitable. That's what we're going to do. And then I have another one that's going to be coming out in September as well that I'll be talking even more about, but it's a course that I'm extremely excited about, and it's actually replacing Side Hustle Academy, and it's called Impact Business Academy, and it's all about creating an impactful business, and a business with purpose, and a business that fires your soul and leads to profit, because I am all about putting the profit behind your passion. So we're going to teach you exactly how to do that and have that opportunity. So wait, it's coming. I'm here to serve you, give you the best you possibly can get, so you can create that life of impact and that business of impact, so that you can do all the things in your life that you deserve to do and that you've always dreamt about doing. We're going to get you to that finish line. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoy the new podcast. I have my first guest coming on next week. We're going to have a really exciting conversation about burnout, which I think, again, is so important to be talking about how to take care of your own self while you're running businesses, while you're doing launches, while you're trying to figure out what the hell am I doing. We're going to help you make sure that you know through some pretty inspiring stories, and also some business tips in there as well, to make sure that you're going to come out the other end of this profitable, but also intact. So I'm speaking from experience. When burnout happens, it's not pretty. So hopefully we can help you avoid doing that. In the meantime, if you have not joined my free community, please go over and do so. You can get it at janditchfield.co/community and jump in. Join me in Impact. You'll love it. Like, it's refreshing, it's interesting, it's different. I am going to build out a business community that women really need to have. And I want you to be part of building that with me. Let's go on this journey together. So thanks for joining me today. I look forward to having you come back next week, and let's go out there and do something impactful. Take care.